Henry Bolton, international border control expert. If I said that quite quickly the other day when you're on, it sounds like sort of pest control. International border control expert. How are you, my friend? Where's the flag, Bolters? Where is it? Where's the flag?
It's in another location.
Oh.
I've got a small one down there. Well, we don't talk about that.
I know what you've done. You've gone and put your flag outside Gary Neville's house, haven't you? Yes, quite right.
On the local roundabout.
Can we start with a story that I want to do that really annoys me? I live in the Bournemouth area, not in Bournemouth, along the coast, and there seems to be so much being written about Bournemouth now. There's 3 hugely overcrowded asylum seeker hotels, one very big circular one right by the beach, and we had that terrible story a few weeks ago where the 16-year-old girl a year ago had just been walking on the beach with her mates. A migrant who'd been in England a couple of weeks walked onto the beach, sexually assaulted her, was arrested. The court case happened, I think, 12 months later. The judge, who's obviously a complete melt, said, and I quote, this is very out of character for whatever his name was, and he's had a very hard upbringing, so we're going to forgive him and you can stay in the UK. No idea or thought as to the poor girl. I don't know whether to laugh or cry about this story today. Asylum seekers housed in taxpayer-funded hotels in Bournemouth, Henry, are reportedly expressing a keen desire to leave, citing overcrowding, isolation, lack of clarity about their future. The Dorset town, known for its sandy beaches and vibrant tourism, not anymore, has become a hotspot for tensions over the government's use of hotels. While it intended as a temporary solution, many asylum seekers are growing disillusioned, bless them. Overcrowded accommodation. It's just, I'd rather go back home than stay here, one migrant reportedly said, highlighting frustrations over conditions. Bournemouth has seen rising crime and antisocial behaviour, with residents questioning the decision to place asylum seekers in already deprived areas. Much as I feel sorry for Bournemouth, this is brilliant, right? This, to me, absolutely justifies why we should build detention centres, probably in the Orkney Islands, no disrespect to the Scots, that are not very nice, that don't offer Wi-Fi and four meals a day and money on your credit card, that is not any better than a bloody tent on a French beach. And basically these people, I'm convinced about this, Henry, wouldn't then go, we get everything in England, let's go to England. If it wasn't as great, they wouldn't want to come. Isn't that the point of this story?
That's absolutely the point, Jeremy. Look, that it also proves that they are being sold a pup. They're by the people smugglers. People smugglers going all the way back down the line, all the way to Somalia and Syria and so on, in Kurdish areas of Turkey, Iraq. They're pushing the UK as a soft option because they know they can get people into the UK. They don't care about what happens when these people get here. So they're selling it as the land of milk and honey. And of course, to a large extent, we've been demonstrating that indeed we are the land of milk and honey for these people. Now, you're quite right. This demonstrates that actually, if they were to understand it's not it's all sort of paved in gold here in the UK, they wouldn't want to come. As long as they think the UK is attractive, they will respond to the marketing of the criminals. And if we were able to put these people in detention facilities, as you say, and as I've been arguing now since 2014, I've been saying we should prepare, we should look over the horizon to increasing numbers, get ahead of the game, prepare these facilities so we can use them. If we were to do that, then the message would have got back to all these communities from which these people come that the UK is not the place to go.
I mean, that to me is not rocket science. So you're the international border control expert, right? And here's me sat here doing this show thinking, right, if you made it, I'm not interested to talk about the people smugglers or dropping your passport. I'm not interested in all the do-gooders who tell me these people are all escaping war-torn countries, because that's crap. Some are, but a large and increasing number are taking advantage because the pull of the United Kingdom is so great. To me, it's really simple. You've got 2 things you've got to do. You've got to make it less possible for people to come here. I mean, get the bloody Navy in. I don't know, turn the boats around. You've also got to make the pull less of a pull. And if you are saying, listen, you might die. I'm being completely straight here with people. They won't like it. You might die. But actually, if you get here, we'll put you in a 4-star hotel. We'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do the other. This has gone on for years. But the difference now, Henry, is that our own people who have worked, lived and expected here for years are missing out.
Yeah.
I think these people are taking the PISS, and I think it's high time we just got tough. I don't understand why we're not tough.
We've talked about this before, but they're not. It's not just our people who are missing out. It's our public services that are breaking.
Yeah, they're missing out because those public services don't allow Betty from Bury to have her hip done.
Correct. You know, we're running out of rented accommodation.
Yep.
All this, you know, the people are having their weddings cancelled at these hotels. The whole thing is mad. Now, I first came across this, Jeremy, in 1999, when I was sent over to be advisor to the Albanian Prime Minister, crisis management advisor to the Albanian Prime Minister and government, when they were flooded. Albania was the poorest country really in the Northern Hemisphere at that time. And they were flooded with refugees coming over from Kosovo when NATO started the bombing in Kosovo. 400,000 people, doesn't sound that many, but compared to the size of Albania and its resources, it was absolutely massive. They were flooded in. The moment that the NATO forces went in, despite all sorts of warnings for these people not to return, they returned to Kosovo. Their houses had been destroyed. There was no work. There was absolutely nothing in Kosovo at the time. But they returned because actually Albania was even worse. And you know, they didn't want to stay in Albania. They left the moment they could. And people will go back to whence they came if the UK is not an attractive place for them. The government and the authorities and these activists who are encouraging that we look after these people, they are actually part of the problem because they are creating an environment which these people feel welcome and they get things that make the UK attractive. So, you know, we are building a problem for ourselves, and in fact the problem is continuing to grow. The number of asylum seekers in the United Kingdom is growing, and it's not just people coming in by boat, it's people who are coming over on student visas and so on and then claiming asylum, and the number is growing. The number in hotels is very slightly less than it was a year ago, up till sort of the year to June 2024. But and actually some of the returns are increasing. But the returns, most of the increase in returns, Jeremy, are voluntary. They're these same people saying,
Absolutely.
I want to go home. And we're paying them to go back. But to be honest, I'm prepared to pay them £3,000 to go back.
I mean, that just winds me up. £2,000. Listen, for me, when I sat here, when Rwanda was on, I wasn't a particular fan. If they'd done it a bit quicker, maybe. We've got a government that said they'd smash the gangs. They've done absolutely nothing. And in fact, the reality of the situation is that they're terrified of doing anything. I don't believe that amongst even the drudgery of most of the political class, there can't be one person at least who can't go, do you know what? It might not be popular with the do-gooders, but it's really very simple. You ain't coming in if you are not got a reason. You're going to be processed and sent back. And in the meantime, whilst we arrange for you to go back, you're going to go into a detention centre or somewhere like that. I just think it's softness. Before I let you go, I've got to ask you this because I want to see your face. I wish you had a camera. Lenny Henry's written a new book. It's called The Big Payback. And he says that Britain should pay reparations for slavery to all black British people because we personally deserve money for the effects of slavery. The book argues that the slave trade led to modern-day racism, which all black people suffer from. He said, and I quote, "The £18 trillion financial resolution is the only way for the UK to address racism." That, by the way, that figure, 18 trillion, is bigger than China's GDP. With a spring in your step and your hat at a jaunty ankle, Henry Bolton over just shaking his head, mate.
I think he must be short of a few bob because he's trying to sell a book to the people who might buy it. It's bonkers, isn't it? But this is what happens. You know, again, we're making a rod for our own back, aren't we? Look, we're paying Mauritius, God knows, $50 billion to take the Chagos Islands off us that we shouldn't be giving them in the first place. We're paying everybody money. Everybody apart from the poor Brits are getting money from the taxpayer.
Absolutely right.
You know, and this is just absolutely insane. And so, of course, these people are going to jump on the bandwagon. Give me some money. Well, let's try it on with the Brits. The Brits give money out like there's no tomorrow.
Steve in Boston's brilliant. He says, Lenny Henry, yes, you can have some bloody reparations once we get ours from the Romans, the Danes and the Normans. In the meantime, Tosser, get to the back of the queue. I mean, that sums it up, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's not directly an immigration thing, Jeremy, but it winds me up intensely. These people talking about what Britain owes the world for slavery. What about what the rest of the world owes the United Kingdom for everything we gave them?
Couldn't agree
Medication,
more.
science, engineering, infrastructure, the whole 9 yards. What about the rest of Europe who, still effectively owe us money, if you want to do that, for going to their rescue? Napoleonic Wars, First War, Second.
HB, I've got to go, but my God, you're on top form today. But miss the flag, dear boy. Don't let Neville get on you. Get it up, sir. That didn't sound right, did it?